here, I'll flip the camera to me and Joe here. So he said not to get too serious, but I'd love to hear Joe's point of view on steroid use in wrestling.
I think they need to take steroids.
I'm with you.
I think they should 100. Well, Brock Lesnar's on steroids, and he's exempt from their steroid testing policy, which is total fucking horse shit.
Let's preface this, though. Steroids, if done under proper supervision.
Well, when you say steroids, that's a very vague answer.
Say anabolic steroids.
That's also a vague. There's different compounds, there's different like things that you use. First of all, testosterone. Testosterone is there to increase recovery. It increases your red blood cell count, so you can have more blood flow throughout your body, so you can keep your pumps, so you can have more vascularity. It increases mood. It increases recovery. That's why these baseball players were caught with that shit, because they're playing 162 games a year, and to have them play at their apex, they needed something to recover from an injury or things like that. When wrestlers are on the fucking road, they're not playing baseball sitting at first base with their glove out.
It's not a competitive sport.
They're fucking getting slammed on practical fucking wood pallets for their entire lives. They're fucking traveling hundreds of miles on the road in a fucking car and things like that. So if you look at the actual physiques, like you're telling me Bobby Lashley is natural?
I mean, he's consistent. He's fucking looked like that forever.
Consistently on steroids is what he is.
I don't know.
You're telling me
I don't
Rock.
like to...
You're telling me The Rock at 53 years old, whatever he is not on any fucking TRT. Are you fucking bullshitting me?
I don't know.
Like, bro, he looks better at 50 than he did when he was 25 in the WWF.
Even that Liver King.
That doesn't happen.
The Liver King.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Anybody who you think is probably on steroids is probably on steroids. It's and the world has created such a negative condensation towards steroids, where they look at it like, oh, it's this thing that kills you. It doesn't fucking kill you. It anything you abuse in life. I could sit here and drink this fucking energy drink all day, and it could fucking knock me out, and fucking my heart rate could explode. So abuse is one thing, but when you're using it in a fucking
under proper supervision with under the care of a doctor.
Yes.
Well, so that's the thing, and I want to mention, because JR on his podcast has come out and said they should be allowed to do it. Bruce Pritchard, a lot of, especially the old school guys, if you abuse it, it becomes a problem, and there's all kinds of. First of all, and the thing is too, it can be used as a shortcut. We're not saying that it
is a shortcut.
It's a shortcut.
You still have to put the work in.
My mindset is, though, if you just had a surgery because you fucking tore your pec and now you're recovering.
You're telling me Triple H from those quad injuries didn't take steroids to get back in 8 months from a quad injury that should have left him out for 2 years?
Right.
Fucking guy, when he came back at Madison Square Garden in 2002, was jacked. He was bigger than he's ever been in his life.
And I think, for recovery from that stuff, I think it's okay. It's not an actual competitive sport. And if it's done correctly, but that's the problem, is there's too much potential for abuse.
Sure.
And that's
you
why
have to
ultimately
you have to be a very level-headed person to do it effectively. Like, there's definitely, no one's ever died from steroids. That's the other thing. And you can point to this person, point to that person, but
it does have negative side effects.
Sure, you can hurt your liver, you can, kidneys and blah 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 blah.
Shrink your balls, fucking go bald.
It doesn't shrink your balls. That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. You're just going based off what the news tells you.
That's off of what health classes told me. They said your balls stop making testosterone, so they shrink.
They also said that weed killed you, so you can't go by what health class told you.
Anyway, like, we're kind of like off the rails here, but I do feel like a lot of the wrestlers are on steroids, even in the WWE still. Bobby Lashley's definitely fucking juiced off his gills. So is Brock Lesnar. So are some of the bigger guys. Probably Austin Theory's probably dipped in. Roman Reigns was caught with steroids just 2 years ago before the pandemic.
There was like
I mean, come on.
Prescription.
I'm in the vein that fucking being transparent and being honest is better than being a fucking phony like The Rock.
Apparently they're in the vein too,
Yeah, they are in the vein, brother. Yeah. Now, before we get, segue back into it, the reason that they kind of enlisted this wellness policy in the WWE was because they blamed the Chris Benoit tragedy on fucking roid rage. There's no such thing as fucking roid rage. It's a myth. If you're an asshole, you're just an amplified asshole on fucking steroids because you're fucking have more
it's
energy.
Hormones.
It's hormones.
You're throwing hormones at people.
Listen,
like
at the end of the day, that's not a reason why you fucking go out and murder your family.
Well, that was,
I don't even know
the concussions and whatnot.
CTE. That's kind of
CTE.
So the thing that struck me most about the Chris Benoit thing is when they did the autopsy on his brain, they said he had the brain of a 90-year-old man.
That's insane.
Well, he did a diving headbutt off the top rope. He took how many chair shots to the head, probably.
And then the Eddie Guerrero, who had honorary heart disease, his heart exploded because he was definitely on steroids. He definitely was on growth hormone. Eddie Guerrero was a smaller wrestler, similar to Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was actually giving his son growth hormone because his son was undersized and his son had actually Fragile X syndrome, which is like a very severe case of autism. So that they also saw that, and they saw that in the autopsy of his son as well. So a lot of weird shit going on there. Definitely kids should not fucking... I think of steroids like this. I think of steroids, and you'll like this analogy. I think of it as, like, say you get a brand new sports car. So you get a Camaro, a Mustang, whatever. You don't just throw a turbo booster as soon as you get it. You get the rims, you get the cold air intake. And then when you absolutely positively can't do anything to the car to get it faster, that's when you turn into nitro. So when you're a kid and you're just starting out and you're lifting weights, you have to max out what your body looks like naturally before you put in the fucking help. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Looks like Lashley
Absolutely.
just lost.
You got to push. Yeah, you have to go to.
Told you AJ versus Seth Rollins. It's going to be a great match.
You have to be in shape to use steroids.
You don't have to be, but you should be.
You can't just take him and get jacked without doing shit.
You'll get fat.
That'll give you a heart
you
attack.
basically get
You
fat.
still gotta,
You put on weight is all that happens, really, if you're not
Well, they
lifting.
give testosterone to people who have
recovery and surgery and also low T, but yeah, I
Correct.
know all about that.
but also muscular deficiencies and things like that. They
True.
can't grow certain muscles. It's given to like AIDS patients and things like that.
that
Listen,
and
I'm all
also
for-
when certain muscles,
What do you think helped Magic Johnson recover?
They get
from-
atrophy too, certain injuries.
If you know what you're signing up for, I'm all for it.
That's what
So
it is.
yeah, you guys hit it all as I was listening. So I agree. Chris Benoit wasn't a name that came to mind, but I know it's like the taboo name.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the three.
It's not taboo on this show. It's ever
Well, he got the main event at WrestleMania though. So I mean,
Oh, did he? Okay.
He-
Okay.
oh yeah,
He
I mean
was at the
the
top
same
of
night
his
that
game.
Eddie,
I was at that show.
Really?
and that was when they had
Oh,
two
wow.
championships, and Eddie won one championship, and Benoit won another, and they had two brands,
Yeah, I know.
and it didn't matter because each brand was unique and had its own
Prestige.
prestige.
You get it.
And that's what I want. I want two brands, two titles. It feels legit. You don't have
Bro,
these
the
guys
AFC
bouncing around.
and the NFC feel
Yeah.
legit. They are fucking legit leagues.
East West Conference
When
basketball.
you win the
shit
AFC
like
fucking
that.
championship, or if you win the Western, it's a big fucking deal. It's harder than the Super
But no
Bowl
one
sometimes.
remembers the loser of the Super Bowl.
Of course, I mean, of course,
Right?
of course. You know.